What's up, everybody? Joe Carlton here with the High Stakes Week 17 reaction show on the Fantasy Savvy YouTube channel. I'm joined tonight by fellow High Stakes players, Joey Brown, Dan Jewett, and Josh Bolin. I also sent Michael Gamberg an invite. We'll see if he pops in at any point, but he's welcome to join us as well. If you're listening, Mike, and you feel like talking some football and reviewing the season, then pop on. Tonight we're going to discuss. We're gonna review our favorite platform, the NFFC. We're gonna go through the primetime leaderboard, the RotoWire Online Challenge leaderboard, and we're gonna talk about some of our buddies, our opponents. Talk about some of the sweats they have tonight. Who's in the running to win the overall title, and then if any one of us have a team to talk about, you guys want to talk about any teams you have winning a championship, dynasty league, auction, not just high stakes, could be Scott Fish Bowl. I don't know if you guys are still in or whatnot, but we could talk about that as well. So sit back, enjoy the show. And there it is, the Josh Allen highlights. What's going on, guys? How's everything this evening?
Good.
A little bit of a late start today, but me and Steve, I think Steve was running late too, getting home. So, but we're here. We're going to discuss Week 17. Digest a little bit of what we saw over the weekend. We're going to go through, like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to go through some of the top of the leaderboard, see who's in contention of overall titles here on the NFFC platform, which is, the platform we play on, we promote. We love it. So we're going to discuss it. But before we do that, you guys have any championships, matchups that you guys have the league, home league, dynasty league, auction league, anything going on you guys want to share?
I'm up big I'm still playing those standard hometown leagues. So I'm up like 100 to 35. So that one's over. I don't worry about that tonight. And I'm going to lose one too. It's IDP part of it beat me. I'm not up on that. And then did win the Gladiator, which that's just Gladiator League for that's $200 toward the primetime entry. So that's nothing major this time, but I need about 30 points out of Drake London to place at another online OC qualifier, but about it.
What about you guys, Josh, Dan? You have any home league title championship matchups or anything outside of high stakes, or any exciting things on high stakes streets for you guys?
Going. So what kind of year it was for us? I need 25 from Bijan for second in the guillotine league, so I'll take that as a victory out of 17. My biggest thing this year was I will be first or second in 7 of 20 of my high stakes best balls. I should be first in 6. I won't go through all the details tonight. There's a couple ways I could get bounced, but that's the best thing I did this year was my best balls. Everything I drafted in June did well.
Nice. What about you, Josh?
A lot like my Cincinnati Bengals, I'm just playing out the rest of the season with nothing on the line.
Nice. You're excited to see who's got the sweat for the 250,000. Right? We'll just root for them. So I won my very first dynasty startup draft 3 years ago. Finally, I won the title this year. Jamar Chase and Chase Brown carried me through. What makes it kind of special, though, is it's a super flex league, and my quarterbacks throughout the season were Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and throughout the playoffs, I used Phillip Rivers, and these were my only he was my only quarterback. I won all 3 of my matchups throughout the playoffs, so kind of proud of that. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't win a super flex league without 2 quarterbacks, because you can. I just did it. It's been proven. The rest of my lineup is pretty stacked. But I will say this: I didn't have Brock Bowers this week, and I got through without him. So on top of that, so pretty good. Tonight I got my very first auction draft this year. Right now I believe it's a 0.7 or a 0.8 point lead going into tonight. And my opponent, the guy in second place, has Puka Nacua, and I have Bijan Robinson. So it's going to be close. I think I'm the underdog there. Puka's been killing it, but we'll see. First place 700, second place 300. So I should be getting something. Third and fourth. So the top four make the playoffs in that, but third and fourth are pretty much 100, 180 to 100 points out. And I think they have like Kyle Pitts or somebody going tonight. So, nobody that's going to go nuts and take second place. So, that's what I got going on tonight. Everything else has already been determined. I had a heads up match on for RotoWire online championship, which I lost. So I ended up settling for the second place prize there on that one. But other than that, that's all I got. Michael Gamberg has entered the studio. We're going to bring him up. What's up, Mike? We were just talking about what we have going on. If we have any sweats tonight for any team, so what do you got going on tonight? How what you first place, second places? Tell us what you got locked up, and if you have anything riding on tonight's game.
Well, yeah, the only thing yesterday I had came in second place in the auction. Locked that up. First place was out of my reach. I got a prayer tonight for first place. I think I'm down 11 points. I got Parkinson. Duke's got Nacua, so I don't think it's. I think that's a prayer and a half. So, what are you going to do? I had Waddle go out. It was, it was a tough one. What do you? It's life. You take second place and be appreciative. 4 seconds this year I'll end up with, and second in the auction, which isn't bad. I think that was like $300. How about you guys? I missed that you guys.
Yeah, we already talked. We already talked about it. For our audience's sake, we will not be repeating that.
Wow. Hope you did better than I did.
It's very limited anyway.
Nobody won big money. We basically live to see another day.
On the 26.
I think I made just a little bit more than what I put in this year overall, not just the NFFC overall. So that's the goal. You want to be able to carry over for the next year. You don't want to go dipping in and to keep it going. You keep it going every year. That's the goal. And then hopefully you make a big score at some point. But yeah, so we're gonna check out. We'll start with the Silver Bullet because this is a great event. It's a single entry high stakes event. It's limited to, I believe, 260 or 207, right around that.
262 or 264.
Yeah. Team single entry. You can't have more than one entry. It was a top 3 in each league make the playoffs, make the shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we got a couple of New York drafters. Actually, more than a couple. Yeah.
2 Hall of Famers at the top.
High stakes Hall of Famers at the top. Michael Edelman is in first place with 708 points. So you start with your weekly average, and then you get your 3-week total added to that. His team is done. He's got about, what is that, a 50? He's got a 50-point cushion over Chris Vaccaro, another New York drafter. Shout out Chris for hosting the New York draft at Greenwich Street Tavern. Joe, you can show it. You want to show off the shirt? I know you're wearing the shirt.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. He saved the New York draft, and Karma's rewarded him. He's right there at the top of the leaderboard. He's got 2 players left tonight. Who'd you say he had, Joe?
Bijan and Pitts.
So he needs 50 points out of Bijan and Pitts to win the the RotoWire online championship, but $250K. Michael Edelman sitting at the top, another very good player, New York drafter. And then Frank Mamola, his team is done. He's in fourth place. Looks like he might drop a couple spots. There's, fifth. Lou Weber's in fifth.
Yeah, he's a good player too.
Yeah, Lou had a good year. I seen a couple of his teams at the top of the leaderboard in multiple different contests. So
he's a very good player.
Good job for Lou. He's him and Paul Stass are probably going to leapfrog Frank. They each have a player going tonight, and they're only 5 points behind Frank. Randy Meckles, his team is done. So just a few names. Bob Kramatola, he's another pretty good player. I know he's won baseball overall titles, but he's got a team up and he's in 11th place right now with one player to go. So, I mean, it's pretty much that, down to Michael Edelman and Chris Vaccaro, though, for the overall title. But shout out to everybody who was at
Silver Bullet.
That's Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
Because the guy.
This is the Silver Bullet. My bad.
Yeah,
My bad. This isn't the OC.
Is the guy I played in a week standings. He's Carranza. I mean, I think he's going to probably win.
Louis Carranza. He's in fourth.
He's fourth right now, but he's got 3 guys going tonight. He's got.
Yep. Oh yeah, he's not even that far out. He's only a point behind.
Yeah,
the online championship is so bunched up. I mean,
he's got Puka, Kyle Pitts, and the Rams D.
Yeah, he looks good compared to what the other guys have. Maybe one player. I think the guys in the top 10 might have one guy going.
Right. Yeah. So we were talking about we were on the Silver Bullet. My bad with that.
Yeah.
Michael Edelman and Chris Vaccaro battling for the Silver Bullet. What's first place in the Silver Bullet this year? Do you guys
50.
know? It is 50 still. Okay. I didn't know if it went up, but 50K. I believe it's a $1,200 buy-in, right? $1,200 buy-in.
It's went up a little bit. It used to be 4,000 first prize, and then it went.
Now it's 5K if you win your league, and then 50K for first. Yeah, they added a few leagues. That's why I remember it used to be like 240 teams. Now it's like 262 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it went up from 1,000 to 1,200. It went up like $200.
Yeah. It's been 1,200 for a little while though. But yeah, so that's the Silver Bullet. Let's jump over to the prime time. Prime time, the top of the prime time standings we have is I don't know who it is. It just says Rel.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Raccaroni. He's got a decent cushion actually. He's got 747. And the third place team, Mike Fonte, has 704. He's got 2 players to go tonight, so he needs 43 points out of, let's see who he's got. Puka and the Rams D. So it's going to be close. That's a pretty good sweat. Randy Meckles is in second. His team is done. Michael Fay, Chad Schroeder. Randy Meckles has two teams in the top 10 and 3 in the top 12. That's pretty impressive. So we got to see.
16 and 17 too. Right now.
Yeah, I didn't scroll that far down. I was just
I looked at his teams. He's got JSN everywhere, basically, and I think he took a lot of Olave. He's his core is basically the same if you look at all his teams.
Yeah, he's a
player, obviously.
Shout out to Mike Sander who watches sometimes. He finished 6th or 7th as of now. It was like he was up there.
Yeah, Mike is up there. Yeah, that's from the New York live draft too.
That one is.
That was at 6 p.m. That was that wasn't the one that is that the one? I think that might be the team from my league.
Oh, really?
I can't remember if I drafted at 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. I think it was 6 p.m. Anyhow, that's a team he drafted in New York. But yeah, top That's the top 10. Chad's got three teams up in the top 12 as well. So no surprise there. Let's take a quick peek at the RotoWire Online Championship. I believe the Guilds is in first currently with 733. But that, yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Mike, Louis Carranza has got 3 guys to go, and it's, he's less than a point behind first, so he's looking good.
Do you know the guy?
No, I don't know him. No,
I think he's only look like he only had one team.
I recognize the name. I've seen him. I've seen him in in the draft rooms and stuff, but I don't really know him. Pitts and Bijan.
He's a genius. Last week I was playing him. He had Quentin Johnson and DJ Moore, and then he took it. He put in this week. He took them out. Put in Tracy and I'm not sure who he changed. I guess he put in Diggs and Tracy. I mean, the guy went cute. He knew what DJ Moore was going to. I guess he's clairvoyant.
Oh yeah, I mean DJ Moore was the only target last week.
He gets 0 this week, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, he made the good lineup decisions to get himself where he is. So got to give him credit to he put himself in position to win this thing. So,
looks like his favorite tonight.
All right, so Joey, I'm going to kick it over to you. I know you prepared a little bit. You jotted down some 3-week totals of some players. Give us a couple of give us a couple of.
Purdy scored 125.95.
Go ahead, Joe.
What would you say?
I was going to say, give us a couple of difference makers and a couple of disappointments from the fantasy playoffs.
I'll give you one since you like him so well. Josh Allen, 67.45.
In 3 weeks, yeah, that's like low for him, I suppose, right? He should
especially
be
where you drafted him at, I would think. But Trevor Lawrence had 123.30. for 3. So Purdy called him, and Drake May had 99.55. But here's the interesting one. Josh Allen, 67.45. Jalen Hurts, 67.90. Dak, 70.25. But Tyler Shuck, 74.25. He outscored those 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And Drake May, what was it? Drake May and Brock Purdy were the top 2.
Brock Purdy was 1. Trevor Lawrence 2, Drake May 3rd, 99. Then Caleb Williams had 83.
Caleb came on pretty good down the stretch, yeah.
And then in running backs, we'll have to.
All of those quarterbacks were drafted in the later rounds, mid to late rounds. Even Tyler Shuck wasn't even drafted. You picked him up off the waivers this year. Nice. What else you got for you? You got
and running backs. I just jotted down 3. Like I said, Chase Brown had 78 total points. Gibbs had 40, and then players that you're going to use. I know he's on the injury report and stuff, but Josh Jacobs had 30.30 in 3 weeks. I didn't do a lot of running back. No, I will tell y'all one interesting one. Zach Charbonnet had 46.70 in 3, and Kenneth Walker had 36. So if one of them was not there, RB1 in Seattle would be so valuable. I mean, that's a lot of points between them 2. But that's right. Charbonnet outscored him, and he probably went, what would y'all say, 2 or 3, maybe a couple 2 or 3 rounds later than Walker.
If you look at the box scores, though, is there a way that you could have played them to get more maximum points? Kenneth Walker had 1 good game, right, out of the 3 weeks.
Kenneth Walker had a high of 25.40 for 1 week, and then Charbonnet had 26.70, and then both of them had double digits 1 week. They were 17 for Charbonnet and 12 for Kenneth Walker. I've really never broke these down before, but to this year, I just want to to see. So I mean,
it's very random. It is. The variance is crazy for sure. But yeah, it's definitely worth observing, taking a peek, seeing how teams use their players too. It's when these games are like playoff like games, where they must win to get in the playoff. Teams are giving you, they're telling you 100% the truth. They're giving you, how their true usage. So it's good to observe these numbers for the volume, the splits, and everything like that. Just for that reason alone. So definitely a good exercise to do, Joe. 100%.
And then like in wide receiver, we talked about Tyler Shuck, but Olave had 83.20, which I didn't go through all the top dogs. I mean, there's a lot of them just, fire like JSC and all. They had their points, but not like this. And then here's two of them. Here's three that I thought was interesting. Parker Washington outscored Tedero McMillan and Ibuka combined in the 3 shootout. Tedero McMillan had 25.30. Emeka had 20.40, and Parker Washington had 53.80. I mean, these are guys that most people had to play. I mean, maybe Ibuka if you depend on your options, but
right.
I mean, you didn't really see Jalen McMillan coming back from the injury, and as well as Ibuka had played, and I know after like week 7, he kind of tailed off and didn't hit double digits, if I remember right. But maybe 1 week. But Ibuka had played well enough that I just didn't think Jalen McMillan would come back and immediately just basically make him non-existent. But they got a heck of a receiving group there. McMillan is tough. I mean, he earned a spot last year, I guess. So
he's good. I like McMillan. I picked him up in a couple of leagues, when there were rumblings about him starting to practice. So, and then I had him stashed. There was one team where it was an IR spot. I had him stashed, and he ended up coming in handy as a flex play for me down the stretch. So, I mean, McMillan, like you said, Josh, that wide receiver group is great. What's funny is that they were all healthy at the beginning of the year, and then there was a point during the season where they didn't have any of them. Right. Like they were all injured. Yeah. Evans, Godwin, Ibuka, and McMillan, and they were relying on Sterling Shepard, Tez Johnson. Yeah. So rough season for Baker Mayfield all around, I suppose. He got through, so we'll see. Look for them to be a possible bounce back fantasy offense next year, especially if their defense takes any type of regression. Maybe this could be like a Bengals Cowboys type of situation where the defense gives up some points and then the offense has to keep pace, and it's a high scoring offense. So that's kind of a little galaxy brained on the Tampa Bay offense. So what else we got to cover tonight? Dan, did you what do you got, any key takeaways? I mean, I know it's the end of the year and takeaways really do nothing for us going forward for fantasy football perspective. But did you see anything this week that raised your eyebrow? Maybe something, like a new trend from a team or any type of situation like that where you might be looking forward to 2026?
Yeah, a lot of things. I start prepping for 2026 about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I keep my notes in my phone, and I put random tidbits in there all the time. Something I wrote down, this is completely random, that I wanted to talk about was I think Malik Willis is going to be a starting quarterback next year and a viable backup fantasy quarterback. I have no idea where he's going to go, but, man, he was really shocking. A lot of weird quarterback play this week. I mean, we had a lot of backups and third stringers, so you got to really kind of take it with a grain of salt. Like the Jalen McMillan, I think there's some viability to that because he's playing with all the starters now. So for next year, is he the 2 or the 3? Some of these teams, it's really hard to judge as they're playing backups and stuff. But one thing I really, as a Bengals fan, it was really cool to see the Bengals come together these last couple of weeks. We talked about it off air, but we drafted Bengals for this playoff run. We drafted Cowboys for the playoff run too, and they didn't work out as well. But Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Chase Brown hopefully win you guys some cash and some titles. So hopefully they can keep up the momentum.
DFS. All my cash games in DFS. Those Bengals. I mean, it was funny because you said everybody took Chase 83%, and nobody took Chase Brown with it in Burrow. And Chase Brown was like 9% owned, and those 3 and McBride, it was like easy pickings. There's winning every cash game.
Well, there you go. What about you, Mike? Did you see anything this week pique your interest for 2026 for better or for worse? I mean, do you see anything you didn't like?
I could say for worse. The one guy I never drafted again is Waddle. The guy goes out in the first quarter, and then I see him late in the fourth quarter, comes back. That guy is paper. I said it on the attack. That guy's just, he's just paper mache. He's just gutless. The guy he's picking up a paycheck. I mean, he does this every year.
Yeah, he does.
How do you come back? It's ribs, and you're coming back in the fourth quarter.
So I put him on my do not draft list 2 years ago, I want to say. Right, I think after his rookie year, he went kind of high. He was going in the second round. I didn't want to pay that type of price for him, so I didn't get him that year. And then the following year, I was like, because he plays, then he does the Houdini act. He misses a game, or he comes out of the game. He gives you. He's active, but he gives you no points because, he's on the sidelines half the time. And this year, he was the cheapest he's ever been. You were getting him in the 7th round. So I did have 2 teams. I don't know I think 1 high stakes team, but I think I took him in 2 or 3 spots, I want to say, just because he fell. And the way I was building my team, having Waddle as a wide receiver 3, I thought, not so bad in the 7th round. But like you said, Mike, he's a very frustrating guy to have on your fantasy team.
I'm with Tua and McDaniels, offense really doesn't, he doesn't get it. He's like so inconsistent, either not playing or when he's playing reception wise. I'll give you 2 positive though. Loveland and the what's the other
Luther Burden.
Yeah. Loveland's you could see his talent yesterday. The catches he made. I mean, he looks like he looked like Kittle in his first year, a couple of years, a young Kittle. I mean, he looked great. I mean, that's a guy that is probably really going to shine next year for fantasy for the full year.
Absolutely, and a Ben Johnson.
St. Brown. I mean, he looked great. I mean, I guess they'll probably ship DJ Moore out of there. Probably they got to find. He's got a big contract, but they don't need him.
Right. Right. Yeah. There's been talks about him being moved for, probably a good 15 months now, and it hasn't happened. Maybe it does happen this offseason, though. That's a good one. I like that. Ben Johnson drafted these guys. He didn't draft DJ Moore, so you could easily see them moving on from him for sure, 100%. What about Roma Dunze? I mean, what do we make of this guy?
We'll see when he plays. He hasn't played a little bit, right?
I know. I mean,
well, good. The first 5 weeks, he was, people that had him. I mean, really, they just stacked up a lot of points with him. The first
he was wide receiver 3, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But
right.
then, he just took a nosedive and then he got hurt.
Yeah, I think the injuries. Yeah. Nice. All right, we'll kick it. Josh, we haven't heard from you yet. Anything you want to mention?
Well, one of the guys I was going to mention was Luther Burden. He got, with DJ Moore being out yesterday with an illness or whatever it was, and Adunze being out, he got his time to shine and he did well. So I'm interested in seeing him going forward, like we were just talking about. Jake Tonjes was another one. I told my dad earlier in the week, because he was going into the Super Bowl in the home league and he had Kittle. I was like, dude, go pick up Tonjes. And he had been running out. He had his bench was weak at wide receiver and stuff. So he was running 2 tight ends, 1 in the flex. And ultimately he decided to go Pittman over Tonjes. But Tonjes he's a solid tight end. I don't know, if he'll ever really get a shot if he goes somewhere or whatever. But I think he ended up with 18, 19 points yesterday in the NFC. So good showing for him. It's going to be interesting. The Kyler Murrays, the Tuas, those situations. Some of these quarterbacks that got benched these last couple of weeks. How do they go away from those guys with the money that they've got locked up on them? What happens there? So it's really about it. Jacoby Brissett's another guy. I don't know. He's not great, but I think he's a good game manager. You can put him out there and you can compete. He obviously sparked that offense pretty good, except for yesterday, which was mind blowing. I know McBride was still the number 1 tight end, I think, on the week, but it wasn't what everybody was hoping for. All the McBride owners was thinking this is going to be a record-setting game. I've been looking forward to it for weeks. I didn't even have a dog in the fight. I just thought, man, McBride's going to explode against us. And the Bengals did enough to contain him, but
he still scored a touchdown, right? I think.
Yeah. The majority of his stuff came in the garbage time. Once the game was over, he probably had four catches and a touchdown, all in garbage time. But still, it doesn't matter. That's where his points was coming most of the year, anyway. So, but it's all good. He still showed up for the guys that needed him.
So if Brissett's not, you think Brissett will be the guy there next year? You think they stick with him?
I don't know. He's obviously a lot better than
Kyler Murray. Yeah,
Murray, and then their backfield's been a mess,
right,
basically ever since Brissett showed up. So how much more would that have helped Brissett to have those running backs back that are better than the Michael Carters and Bam Knights of the world?
Right. Maybe a potential landing spot for Malik Willis. He's, he's mobile. He runs. He could probably fit that offense well.
This is one season that's really shown that I think that these quarterbacks that get some time to sit on the bench, they swing and they miss as starters right out of the chute. They didn't hit it, but they stuck with it. They've sat on the bench and they've learned, and now all of a sudden they're guys that can come in and be viable QBs. So it would be nice. I know everybody wants to see those college guys right now. It would really be nice to see him go back to benching these guys and letting them sit there for a year or so. But they put people in the stands, so you got to see them right now.
When you fire coaches after 1 year, it's hard to do it.
Yeah. Like Rodgers sitting behind Favre, and then Love sat behind Rodgers. So it helps. And then did Brissett, did he get coached any by Josh McDaniels? Didn't he?
Yeah, he was behind Brady initially.
He was the third, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your Brady was suspended, I think.
Same thing. Mac Jones is another backup quarterback, could potentially be a starter somewhere next year. He looked pretty good when he was in there. Towards the end, the last couple of starts that he had, with a wide receiver room and was depleted, Kittle was hurt. it became a little bit tougher. But you know, I think he could be a capable starting quarterback in 2026 somewhere. So you know, it's a good conversation that we're having actually about you know,
Atlanta would be interesting too. I mean,
potential landing spots for some of these quarterbacks that shown that they can, you know, manage a team.
Mhm.
Mike is back.
Sorry, Mom.
playing
Mom
for his
called, I
job.
gotta take it. Mom calls, I got to take it. She don't know
Yeah.
my fantasy schedule.
That's 24/7.
Doesn't she know you're sweating a championship right now tonight? One game to go.
That's over. That's
No, just kidding. Nice. All right, Joey. We got the info out of you, but now is there a certain player you want to discuss?
You
For going into
Mike was
2026.
like Michael was talking about a while ago was, you know, Loveland. He's up on my board, but I really hope they move Njoku. Harold Fanning's going to be really good next year too. I mean, he was even really good with Njoku, but I hope they move him somewhere. That way you have two good tight ends. Njoku needs to be moved too. But Harold Fanning's going to be really good next year. He already is, but he's going to be real good. He's a target.
Is Shedeur going to be the QB in Cleveland next year?
I think he has to.
If you give him time to throw, he throws one of the prettiest balls. Like I'm not a Shedeur guy, but
Right.
man, he can throw. He throws a pretty pass when he's got time to throw, and he's somebody that could just use a little more development.
He's the kind of guy, Josh, like you said, if he's set for a year, I think he could be really good. If he's set behind a Joe Flacco, maybe. Just throwing it out there.
You know,
He did sit a good portion of the year though.
That's true.
The only thing he needs to learn, I know we all watch him, he holds on to the ball too long. If he gets get it out of his hands a little bit quicker, he'd be really, really good. I mean, he's got the pedigree. The backings. I think he can be good. I think he can run the offense.
I agree.
That's film room and processing defense.
That's not like a lot of rookie quarterbacks. The first year they hold the ball to them. Just the NFL game until they really pick it up. What the guy's coming at him so fast.
Hell, Burrow still does it.
Yeah.
Albert makes a good point in the chat. Njoku's going to be a free agent. If that happens, Harold Fanning probably top 5 fantasy tight end without question.
And depending on the landing spot for Njoku, he could be a low end tight end 1.
He could have a bounce back, for sure. Like you said, Joey lands somewhere with a quarterback that could lean on him. Somewhere.
Don't even say it, Dan.
What about where he's going?
Don't even say it.
There's a guy retiring.
Oh yeah.
So he can go somewhere where he could be a top 2 target on the team.
He doesn't stay healthy.
Patrick Mahomes wouldn't hate him.
He's hurt every year in the Njoku. That's one of his problems. I mean, he's missing games every year.
A
lot of tight ends do.
But here's somebody that we faded that did not get hurt this year. And when he doesn't get hurt, he's a difference maker, and that's Christian McCaffrey.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I mean, I was on him until all of a sudden he jumped to like pick 7 or 8. And I'm like, well, now I don't like him as much there as I liked him when he was going pick 14, 15, 16. And he stayed healthy. So all we really want is for that guy to have one healthy season. If maybe next year's Njoku's season, that he's healthy all year in the right environment, and all of a sudden he's putting up Trey McBride because he can put up some numbers with the right QB and the right
touchdown guy. You're right.
He does have spike week potential for sure. A guy I want to discuss, showed me that he has some juice. Is Ja'Cory Krosky-Barrett. I know there's a lot of going back and forth on him. Is he good? Is he not good? 7th round pick. Is definitely got more talent. He's more of like a 3rd or a 4th round talent, if you ask me. I think missing the season, is why he was a 7th round draft pick. But the Commanders' offense this year was riddled with injuries. The wide receiver of McLaurin missed half the season. Luke McCaffrey was starting to come on a little bit, and then he went down for the year. Debo Samuel. He was fairly inconsistent because of the injuries. Jaden Daniels missing time. I want to see how Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt does in a Redskins offense that's healthy and has a rhythm, kind of like they had towards the end of the 2024 season. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
They threw Bill right to the wolves. You know what I mean? Like when you took Brian Robinson, got him out of town, you just threw him right to the wolves. And then with all the injuries, like you said, but it's the last 2 weeks he showed a little bit of fire there.
Yeah.
So I
just don't like he doesn't catch the ball. He's not a receiver out of the backfield, which limits his fantasy output to me.
Right.
But as a 3rd or 4th running back next year on a fantasy team, he would definitely be viable.
I think he could be like they said, Dan, RB3, RB4. I think he could be a good value in drafts next year. I wouldn't sleep on him.
Yeah, because if the Daniels is back, they got their full complement of players. It's going to open up he's going to get those possible chances like against the Dallas defense.
Just depends on where these crazy high stakes people drive him to in the drafts.
Yeah,
you know, like you were saying about Waddle. I don't want Waddle in the 3rd round. I like Waddle a lot better in the 7th or 8th round. Way on back there.
I got JC Evans best balls when he wasn't. You had to dig deep. It was fortunate, and then everybody got caught onto him, and then he was like
he's screaming
10th, 11th round pick, and he's a DraftKings best balls. And then in the NFFC draft, he was like 8, 9 round, right? He moved up to, late in those August rounds.
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah.
I'd like to take this question when you're ready.
What, Jacobs?
Yeah, because somebody out there told him to start Stafford over May. You're fine, Jacob. You're going to get 42 out of both of them. I'm sorry. I told you to start Stafford over May.
I think you get there. I think he gets there.
Yeah, I mean, who thought that
Luka Lab will get 42?
How many?
I was shocked. I was a little bit shocked to see that because I thought that because Jacob obviously was telling us earlier today that he needed Puka and Stafford, and I'm thinking, I'm going to get to these standings, and there's going to be somebody down there that's 50 or 60 points out that's got Stafford and Puka. And there's nobody with that combo in there. I thought we might see that somewhere.
If they score 140, me and you win a prime time
between Puka and Stafford.
Yeah.
Well, giddy up.
I want to mention one other player right quick. One that was on Dan and Josh's team. Especially, I'm already pondering on I'm going to go kind of 0 RB, but I want RJ Harvey next year. Give me 3 loaded up wide receivers and let me have him in the 4th, 5th, or 4th. I would take him as my one with the wide receiver group. He's had a good year. You all had him on a prime time, didn't you?
Yep. The last 3 weeks, I thought they used him so much better. I kept complaining how his usage was.
Yeah,
fast on the outside, and then that. I don't know if it was this week or last week, that receiving touchdown he had in the back of the end zone. Harvey's a stud, man. If you can get him as your running back 2, or I'll even go 1 with 4 receivers ahead of him.
Yeah,
absolutely. Good.
Yeah,
and then another RB that I think he's going to shoot up, especially based on the offseason. If they make any offseason moves, they need to is. Marion Hampton, if you get him an offensive line, he's going to put up some numbers too. I mean, in that offense, Greg Roman,
They need that offensive line to be able to be healthy.
yeah.
I think this entire group of rookie running backs are going to have a lot of momentum going into year two. I think you know I don't want to say they were overrated coming into year one, but we all pushed their talent and how good of a class this was. But I think in reality, half of them needed to feel the pace of an NFL season, and that's why you saw RJ Harvey get used better towards the end. I think Sean Payton knows the process and knows not to, if you throw him in there too early and he struggles, now people are calling him a bust pick and everything else, and then he's got to deal with questions from the media and everything. I feel like a lot of these guys, their talent's going to show, but I think a lot of them, their maturity level and just the experience, gaining the NFL experience, easing them in helps the learning curve, I suppose. So that when they're ready to take on that proper usage, they're mentally right, they're physically right, they're not worn down, they're fresh, they're ready to take that leap into fantasy relevancy and consistency, I suppose.
Dan has I think maybe the biggest bust at running back on the year. Has a great stat line on him. Caleb Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, his -1 yards on the year, -1 rushing.
He's got more fumbles than he's got yards. Yeah, that poor kid's had a rough
He
year.
just started out and never got out of the.
It's bad. It's hard enough to be a rookie under Tomlin, but then being a rookie under Tomlin and having to stand back there with Aaron Rodgers, another guy that hates rookies. So, oh well.
I'm going to give you guys a running back real quick, because this is what I'm looking for the next this week and last week and next week. Because Josh knows I'm taking 4 or 5 receivers right off the bat, so I'm going to pepper late running backs. What's your guys' thoughts on Keaton Mitchell? I was in love with him all off season. I think he looks like he is so fast and electric to the outside right now. One more year under Derrick Henry, or with Derrick Henry next year, Keaton Mitchell is going to be a guy that I'm targeting like rounds 12 to 15. I think he'll last that long. Maybe I'm wrong.
My fear about Keaton Mitchell, but I'll let you talk in a sec, Mike. I just want to chime in real quick. My fear about Keaton Mitchell is that he's only got one role. I don't know if he'll ever be able to handle 15 carries a game and be a part of the 4 or 5 receptions. I think you might see him forever closer to like 6 to 13 carries as like a ceiling for usage wise, and then obviously be involved in the passing game. I don't think you'll see him take on a high volume role. We know he has an injury history. He does go down. So
he's a year removed from his ACL. So
yeah, which is good. Yeah, it's definitely he's definitely gonna have more juice next year than he did this year. I mean, you could see he was like he had like flashes of Devon A.J. in him in his rookie year. That's kind of who he kind of reminds me of in a way. But that's my fear about Keaton Mitchell. Although, like you said, 15th round, 14, 15, 13, over there, the risk reward is right where it wants to be. But go ahead, Mike. I'll let you give your thoughts on Keaton Mitchell.
Agree with Dan. I mean, the guys, you can see the explosiveness, and I don't look Henry. The guy. I'm not sure a lot of teams, I guess, the Prime and the OC probably made jumps with Henry this week. I guess if there's still teams, in the championship, with him, because he was a disappointment all season basically. and he's another year. I mean, can this guy? I think Mitchell gives him a lot of juice like that, and he doesn't need a lot of touches. I mean, he might if he can catch. He's a decent pass catcher, right, Dan? It's not a bad. He's
absolutely. They've been using Ali as a third down back.
4 or 5 balls when they have when they're with Lamar back, and they have to find somebody at another wide receiver. They just have to. And Likely's got to be the guy. They got to change that offense and utilize Likely, kind of like Atlanta's using Pitts. I mean, it's stale that often. They have no passing game. It's year after year, and they're retreads with these old guys. Besides Flower, they need somebody. They have to pick up a wide receiver. Maybe they should call Jacksonville. I don't know. Jacksonville, BTJ might be number 3. Looks like he's the number 3 receiver in that team right now. Where they're using Washington and Myers. I mean, they've been great the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a question in the chat. It says up 6 versus Parkinson in PPR and point per first down. He's playing Drake London. Corum pivot if knee flares pregame. Think Drake has a decent game. So he basically needs Drake London to not be outscored by Cody Parkinson by 6 points is what I'm reading. Are you guys seeing that the same way?
Yeah.
Okay. He's got Parkinson up 6.
He's up 6 with London, right?
Yeah, he's got London. Or he could play Blake Corum.
Yeah.
He's going against
Drake London's healthy. If Drake London's healthy, he averages 3.92 yards per route run against the cover 2 and cover 3. And the Rams are giving up the 8th most yards to wide receivers lined out wide. London's in a great spot.
Yeah, and you got to hope that in this situation, you got to hope that the Rams are going to put up points. That they're just got to play garbage time. Kirk Cousins is going to sling it all over the place. I only think the Corum with the first down thing is kind of interesting.
Is there a scenario where you just play Corum either way? Because I would consider it.
Mm-hmm.
What if you play Corum and he comes in and fumbles and then he doesn't get put back in the game?
Well, you can say that about anybody.
If Drake London fumbles, they're keeping him out there and still firing. If Corum fumbles, it's Kyron Williams the rest of the game.
I think they want to keep
that would be my fear.
Playoffs and fresh.
Yeah, I don't think the Rams can't get the 1 seed. They can't win that division.
No, they're going to be the craziest 5 or 6.
So I don't. They might. The Rams. Who knows? Corum might be the play. They might rest some. They might rest Williams and some of these guys.
It's a ballsy call.
They got nowhere to go. Really, they're just jockeying for wild card.
That's why
they probably want to. They probably want to lose. I don't think they want to come to Philadelphia.
That's why I'm
rather go to Chicago or something.
I'm optimistic about my Bijan versus Puka matchup tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Iggy 2122 says Corum or Henderson PPR. Didn't Henderson already play?
I think so. Did he?
Maybe he meant Parkinson.
He didn't play like you wanted him to. I think Stevenson. He out-touched Stevenson like 19 to 30. Something crazy. But Stevens got those 2 touchdowns.
Corum or Williams. Based on the facts that Mike brought up, I think Corum might be the play over Kyron this particular week.
Well, let me ask y'all this though: it's going to be a Stafford game after Drake May throwing 5 touchdowns because he's on prime time. He's trying to win that MVP.
It's possible. This is possible, Joe. I think maybe he takes some shots early, and then if it's not working, maybe they go away from it. But I think that's also a very good point, Joe. These MVP races always go back and forth with performances. And Drake May. I mean, how much can you He played the Jets. He threw 5 touchdown passes against the Jets.
He's already got the Stafford always has the MVP. He's got 40 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Come on. I don't think he's
I agree.
You know,
I agree with that statement for sure, Mike.
they're probably going
Stafford's
to
been
take him out at
impressive.
some point in the game, I would think.
If he goose eggs tonight, May ends up. Well, I guess May can't end up with a 1 seed, can he? Denver
They
loses.
can,
Denver's
yeah,
not going to lose.
yeah. I was going to say they can, but they need help.
Stafford's
Yeah.
got to do
They
something
can't get the
tonight.
1 seed because Seattle has it over him already.
No,
Seattle
no,
has 3 losses. So the Rams entice Seattle, and then San Francisco has it over them too.
San Francisco's in the driver's seat if they win out, right?
Yeah. San Francisco beat Seattle. They got the 1 seed.
Which is wild.
Nice. This has been a great show, guys. I want to jump over. It's about 7 minutes from kickoff, so I want to jump into tonight's game and give our weekly prop bets that we kick out for everybody. I'll start with you, Josh. We'll go from Josh to Dan to Mike to Joey and then back to me. So we'll start.
I'm gonna go with Bijan Robinson to have her over 4.5 receptions in the game. I think he could end up with 6 to 7 catches pretty easy in this game.
Iggy just gave us some more context. He said he needs 20 points from a Rams running back. Who we playing, Kyron or Corum? If we need 20 points,
Can you play them both?
Can you play? Can you one half? Go Williams first half, and second half.
Just type in Rams running back and see what happens.
If I need 20, I'm going Kyron and just hoping he gets 2 touchdowns in the first half.
Yep.
There we go. As much as we think there's a chance that Corum could have more usage, if
interesting thing, Kyron's had only 3 games over 20 points. He's got close up.
And what about Corum?
I'm trying to find him. I'm on.
The problem is they sabotage each other with the ball.
Yeah.
Seattle 2.0.
He's only been over that mark once in the last 2 weeks. The week 14, 26, and then he scored 13, 13.1 the last 2 weeks. 15, 16, 13.1, 13.1. If it's PPR, hopefully Kyron, he does catch them every now and then, so you may get saved.
It depends what's going to happen if they pull their starters. I mean, and Corum's they really the reason they lost that Seattle game, they just McVay just rotate. He kept rotating them. You don't do that in the fourth quarter. That was a bad mistake because he missed the block on a pass pro, and it was just these coaches. I don't know why they just stuck to it. It's one thing if you're playing if you're playing a cupcake team, and they're Cardinals or something, you rotate them. But in the fourth quarter, you paid the guy Williams all that money. But you're gonna rotate with Corum? They lost the game. I think that was a key miss on the pass protection.
Nice. All right, Dan, we'll kick it over to you. Any thoughts on the game and share your prop bet with us?
Yeah, you guys just talked about it. I think the Rams are 7.5 point favorites. I think they win double digits. I'm going the Rams will probably play at least 3 quarters. So Matt Stafford over 2.5 touchdowns is plus money. I figure Puka's getting 1, Parkinson's getting 1, and then probably another tight end in there. So I think 3 touchdowns. They want to get Stafford that record. I know that our guy out there wants Kyron or Corum. I think if they're on the 1 yard line, Stafford's going to be passing even with Adams out of there. They're getting him 3 touchdowns tonight. Lock it up.
Maybe in the first half, you're right.
Yeah, very good. Well, could be.
So they can just put in, right?
I'll just go. I'll cut the line and piggyback off of that, and just say that my prop bet for the night was Kobe Parkinson anytime touchdown. So we can tie it in with that with the Matt Stafford call. I agree with that. sentiment, Dan. I think the only way Kyron, is if they fall in the end zone. I think it's possible they can run in from the 1 yard line. I don't know if they'll necessarily pass, but I mean, I could be wrong. Dan, you might be right about them wanting Stafford to.
It's a Rams record and it's his personal record too, isn't it? Aren't they both sitting at 41 or 42? And he's at 40 touchdowns on the year. So,
and McVay's the kind of coach that wants that stuff. He wants that play.
Yeah, but does he want to? In terms, does it get to a point? I mean, last year, the Eagles sat Barkley. He'd have the record easy.
That's true.
They just.
That's why you get the record in the first half, and then he sits for the next week.
Right? Yeah.
Packers got he's 37 years old with a big. Do you want to look stupid in the takes an injury when the game's out of hand?
Who's your tight end, Iggy? Is it Pitts? Do you think Pitts gets 20 tonight, or any Rams tight end? I don't think so. Hawkinson might get a touchdown, but I don't know about 20 fantasy points.
Pitts could do it if they're down big.
If it's Kyle Pitts, Iggy, I would go for. If it's a Rams tight end, I would still just take my chances with Kyron or Corum. Flip a coin, really. I would say that if there is a goal line carry, I think it goes to Corum and not Kyron in this game. I think they're going to do everything they can.
Depends whose turn it is.
They really do play it they take turns each drive.
I think it's a mistake.
I wish Iggy needed 12 points because I feel like he can get 12 with any of those three guys. Right, 20 feels like a tall order with any of those three guys tonight. Figuring out which one.
You just crossing it's
go with your gut. Go with your gut. Ultimately, go with your gut, and
right. You're gonna be locking it in. It's
I don't want to sway anybody.
Locking in Kyra.
Comes to week 17 Monday Night Football. Go with your gut. At least
there you go.
Let's
go with the guy that got him there too. There you go. I like it. I like the call. I hope it works out, man. Maybe Kyron gets a receiving touchdown.
He could.
Yeah.
Joey, do you do a prop bet?
Yeah, I'm using him in all my teams anyway in the constellation. I'm going to stick with Drake London. He's back. Anytime touchdown. I'm using him in a OC qualifier.
Garbage touchdowns count.
And I'm going to tell you something. It's crazy. Did y'all see where, let's say the Rams get upset tonight and the Falcons win next week. Even if the Panthers lose, they still get in.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then, like I said, Kirk Cousins is still trying to play somewhere next year. So this is a big game. And like I said, we don't know what's going to happen with Penix when he's going to be back or Atlanta still got some questions at QB too, like we was talking.
Big questions. You're right.
And that offense is win now mode too. So be interesting to see what they do in the off season there at quarterback of the
35 from Puka and Drake London. Lock it up. You're getting that. Yeah.
That's nice. Nice. So that's it, man. It's about kickoff time.
This you want me to give you mine?
You have one?
Yeah, I was. I gave you a winner last week with the Frisco.
I didn't know. We got Mike hooked on the prop bet there. We got.
Josh has to tell me what's the over under on the reception for Bijan, the receptions.
4.5.
I like the over big time.
Isn't that the one you?
That's the one I went with.
Double down, baby.
That was yours?
That's the one I went with. Then that means it's good.
That means
great minds, Mike.
Under so hard.
Sorry, John. That's a stone cold winner.
There it is. Bet it twice, Josh.
I think you get it in the first half.
I like that because I need Bijan to outscore Puka tonight. That's my request. Great show, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in live in the chat. All you people who chimed in, asked questions, appreciate it. hit the like button if you enjoyed the show. Subscribe to the channel, Fantasy Savvy YouTube channel. Great high stakes content, great fantasy football talk all around. Steve does a great job with this channel. Got a great group here with me. We're with you every Monday, giving you our thoughts for an hour just before kickoff. But I believe the game is underway now, so we're going to pretty much call it an evening. Mike, Joey, Josh, Dan, appreciate you guys tuning in. We got a big show planned Thursday night, 8:15 Eastern time. We're on the Sports Affiliation YouTube channel, which is my home channel. We got big guest Billy Wasowski, one of the best high stakes players in the world. We're going to be doing New Year, new ADP. We're going to talk about where we think some of these guys might fall in drafts in ADP range in the 2026 drafts. Give us some early thoughts, running backs we like, quarterbacks we like, maybe some guys we were already considering fading. It's going to be a great show. We got multiple guests lined up. Guys will be popping in and out. We got tag teams. I know I'm putting Michael and Joey together. I'll put Dan and Josh together. Steve's going to be on. Will Miles will be on. Billy Wasowski. Greg Kellogg, Sports Affiliations. Greg Kellogg is going to come on and talk about the curse of 370. And there's two guys that are possibly going to hit that this year. CMC already has hit it. Jonathan Taylor, depends on what he does in week 17. He might be up there. And a lot of guys are right around that range, around 320 to 350 touches. We can mention them too. He'll talk about that. I know he's big on that. He faded Saquon hard this year. He was basically banging that drum all year, and he was right. Saquon, although he did stay healthy, he did get banged up here and there. He did stay healthy, but his production was way down from the previous year. So there's definitely historical results and evidence that shows that the next year expect regression as far as production goes. So that's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to that. A lot of great guests.
You're going to have Steve on?
Steve
drop on, right?
Yeah, Steve's going to be on. Anybody I'm sending an invite to a bunch of people. If you make it, they can make it.
You got talent. Billy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a marathon show. It's gonna be long. I know Billy said he's willing to go all night. So when you get a guest like that, man, a guy that makes rare podcast appearances, you got to take advantage of it. So I will be there to extract as much info out of that gentleman as possible, because he's a very good player. He's also in second place right now in the overall auction league. I think his team is done. I don't think he can move up. So he's either got second place locked up, or he'll move down a spot or two. But he's right there at the top of the leaderboard. So good for him. I'm sure we'll discuss some of his results Thursday night before we get into the 2026 talk. But that's what we got on tap this week. Once again, I appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to get out of here. Hope everybody gets what they need to win their fantasy championships, and enjoy the Monday night game. Have a good night, everyone.
See you guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.